Thank you for those kind words of introduction. That was really magnificent. For everybody, my name's Danny Costick, as said. On your table there's these presentations in paper form so you can scribble on, and please don't make paper aeroplanes and throw them at me. Okay, Hemisphere as a company, we're listed on the ASX. The code, as you may know, is HEM for those who've done the research. We're actively exploring and we're searching for iron in the Pilbara of Western Australia, and we're searching for and we're identifying quality, DSO quality iron for export. What we have done, we have listed on the exchange 4 years ago, and since listing we have explored successfully, and also we've added to our portfolio where now we have iron as our focus. We have spun off our gold assets last year. Many people in this room are shareholders in that. And what we are doing, we are definitely out there to go into iron in a big way. Okay, we have high-grade iron from surface, right next to Australia's largest iron ore mine. And we have our projects. Tonight I'll talk about 4 of the projects, ranging from early appraisal, site appraisal, just the geologist going out and having a look, to JORC resources, where we're currently in feasibility mode. What we also will be talking about is where these iron projects sit. Okay, these iron projects, they are either next door to or surrounded by major iron ore mines of the Pilbara of Western Australia. As you've heard earlier, it is such a big part of Australia's economy, and the high-grade mines, the DSO quality, has been given a finite life by the world markets. Okay, our company has the people in place and also has the funds to continue our forward programs. And tonight what I want to discuss with you is 4 iron projects. They are Yandicoogina South, Hancock Range, Mount Goldsworthy and Mount Tinstone. And 2 of those names at least you would have heard of in a big way, the names Yandicoogina and Mount Goldsworthy. What we have done to get to this point is we have built this quality list of projects through both diligence and some good fortune, which I'll show you as we're going into each project, the mechanism by which we were able to obtain some of this really keenly sought after and high quality ground. And I'll present the projects to you in sequence tonight, but the sequence of presentation does not necessarily dictate the level of importance to the company. Right now it is, but the success of the current exploration programs at Mount Goldsworthy, what that might do is jump the queue significantly and take over as lead project. So now I'll move into the presentation. You've all seen the disclaimer. And this presentation does have forward-looking statements within it. Okay, for the company, we are well funded. We've got a very tight share structure, as you see, and we do have a strategic asset through our shareholding in RIO Resources, which listed last year. And there's liquid stock where the top 20 has 51%. You'll see by the share price right now that there's a lot of value to be had in the company, and the downside is about 0. For the organisation, we've got the people in place with the strengths and the skills to take us from both discovery through to evaluation through to production. We've got the people in place and the funds to do what we are out there to do. Okay, for our projects, we've got as I've said to you before, the Yandicoogina South, right on the border of Australia's largest iron ore mine. Hancock Range is a patch of ground that has some 10 kilometres of Brockman iron formation. I'll come into that. Mount Goldsworthy, we're out on the ground recently. We've seen some news, we were doing some work out there. And we have Mount Tinstone, a strategic asset. We are focused, we've got our strategy clear, we're doing it, and we're on track. Okay, this slide here just shows you where we are in space. So the central Pilbara you'll be well aware of. Just to give you a bit of time on this slide. Here we have RIO's Yandicoogina mine, Australia's largest iron ore mine. Here we have BHP, So collectively, we have the Marillana system. Marillana system, some 4.7 billion tonnes of iron published. It's being extracted at a remarkably high rate, so much so that that product will be, at the current rates, all gone within our lifetimes. We have down here the Area C. This region through here, from BHP's internal reports, is 2/3 of BHP's total production for their past, their present and their projected future, including RGP6. And if any BHP people are in the room, it's on your website, it's what you're publishing as real. And this here is Hancock's first tilted production through Hope Downs. We have two projects in here. We have the Yandicoogina South and the Hancock Range, and I'll right now go into the Yandicoogina South so you can see what we've been doing as far as discovering the high-grade iron on surface. Here we have, again, Rio's Junction Southeast and Junction Central. And here we have our Yandicoogina South. The white dot there is our indicated resource, and it shows just by the size of that white dot how much more there is to be looked for on this ground. Moving over to the slide over here, that red there is the white dot over here. Okay, so we've got the resource as you see there within that small part. We've got the target areas coming down through, and where it's shown here, that is outcropping CID. Okay, it's known. What we do have is a line across here where up through this part, okay, is granted, down through here is applications running. This resource, this quality here, I've spoken to people in China at steel mills, and they've said to me they can take all of that. That is well within the spec of what the market is prepared to take right now. Now, I did say to you I'll talk about how we come across this patch of ground. This ground, the part of it, was compulsory surrendered, as happens in Western Australia, and it went to a ballot. We put our name in the hat. It's quality ground, we knew that. Our geologists looked at it and said, yes, put the hat in. We did that. It went to ballot, and those that are also in the ballot were Fortescue Metals Group, Murchison Metals, Brockman Iron, all the big players, and we won the ballot. Since that time, we've picked up some more, and we have a mining lease application to cover that area there and a bit more, which currently we're in the feasibility mode thereof. So the big thing about it is high grade from surface. And you'll see here the thicknesses of it. This is a 55% cut-off we're looking at now. And so you've got more than 15 metres thick coming through this sausage here. And you'll see these grades here. This hole here sits just over here. And that is 7 metres of outcrop clearly, and it carries on through. It is absolutely really good quality gear. And we've got this other one here, sits just here, and north of that border is Rio Tinto's operations. That red line is our boundary. What we're seeing here in these sections, you've got the A, B, C, which is here. You're seeing the 55% iron contours, and you'll see where it's high grade to the surface. So it really is the right quality, it's DSO quality, it's there, it's real, and we have got more to do. You'll see it's open down through here and down through here. And what we are going to do is down through here, do the drilling into the next lease, which comes down here, and that's ours. The slide you're seeing here is this bit. This is interesting. We're in the Wheelie Wally formation, which is not recognised of having any iron ore. But our geologist went out there and he found, it's only rock chips at this stage, we have to go and drill it. But we have got up to 66% iron in rock chips on the surface within our existing exploration licence, within the mining lease application that's currently running. It's not supposed to be there, it just is there. So we're going to drill that, and we're going to find out when we get the agreements from the native title heritage survey that's been conducted. We'll get the documents in and we'll put the drill rigs out. And you'll see the average of all of these, even with some of them have higher FOS, and if you all would know the iron market, FOS is deleterious, but the average of all of them is well and truly in spec. Some of them have got high alumina, some have got high silica, but the average of all of those rock chips is well and truly on the money. So what we have done, other than exploring and finding at Yandicoogina South, we have moved on to the feasibility mode. We've done metallurgical test work, our first pass test work, and that tells us that we have got DSO quality material, no if, no but. It's real, it's there. Okay, our guys have come to us and they've put out to us that what we can do, we can put some of this so good that it's actually blending material. It's too good to put on a train. So to that end, we're working on that. They've also, the big thing about the channel irons, which this is, it's very soft material. They talk about a crushing work index. It's a couple of kettles being boiled is the amount of energy it takes to turn this rock into, or this ore into small rocks. It really is soft material. So that's one of the big things about it. It will be a low-cost on-site production when the time comes. And at the moment, we've got upgrading characteristics being looked at. So some of the lower portion, which is the higher silica and alumina in the layering, some of that, if they can upgrade that through mechanisms, then we'll do that as well, and the whole lot should go out. So the scenarios are either we blend the whole lot and put it out as one spec, or we put the high grade out as one and we upgrade the lower portion to put more out to the market. So what have we done? It's ours, we've got it. Our first pass drilling, our maiden drilling, gave us our indicated resource. Okay, the very first drilling we did. Okay, the met testing I just spoke about. We've got more, as I said, there's CID on surface. Okay, in our application areas and also on our ground, our granted ground. Okay, it's there, we have to go and drill further. It's going to take some time, we have to go through the native title for the applications and also the heritage clearances for the others. Okay, but it is real, and the mining lease application is running, and that will go through in the fullness of time. Okay, so what are we doing? We've got the heritage surveys have been conducted. We've got drill plans being available waiting to go. It's taken longer than we would have liked, absolutely. And as soon as that's done, we'll get the rigs back out there. We're currently in pre-feasibility mode, and we do have discussions regarding offtake. So that is pretty much Yandicoogina South. Moving on now to Hancock Range. Again, central Pilbara, same area, same things happening. Okay, that's this paddock here, just north of of Hancock Range, of Hope Downs, which is Hancock Prospecting's first mine. And what we've got here is 10 kilometres of the Brockman Iron Formation. That is the right rock type to have either very good quality hematite, if it's the right thing, or at the very least it's going to have other things that may come to something. You've got the folding is present, necessary for enrichment. We've got other things there. Maybe we might have something on this, and we are targeting microplaty hematite. You've got named ore bodies of BHP just here. That's within their RGP6. Their Ministers North, if you've heard of that, sits about there somewhere. And it really is a good part of the world. Looking at the country, the helicopter shot through here is where we're going to be doing our next drilling. We have drilled in this corner over here. We've hit some surface enrichment. We've hit some virgin biff, which is like that end of magnetite thing, which doesn't really excite us a lot, although the Chinese do like it, what we do have. And we've got a hole that went into the ground there, 400 metres into the earth. We know it's there. Okay, definitely the structure is continuous. What you're looking at, we've drilled over there. Over the plains out the back here is the Marillana system, which is BHP and RIO's channel iron mines that are operating. Okay, so that's the real stuff. It's the Brockman Iron Formation, a term you'd all know well. Okay, heritage survey's done. We're waiting to go further drilling out there. As I said at the introduction, the order of these projects, the companies presented as projects rather than just a company presentation, This one, even though it's third, has the potential to jump the queue and become our number one project. This might have something of substance. Where it is 100 kilometres east of Port Hedland. It's got the BHP Goldsworthy railway line, which actually goes out past Shea Gap on the border of the tenement. It's got the Great Northern Highway just there, about 5 kilometres from the tenement. There's nothing in the way. And what it's also got, which I'll show you in later slides, just there, is the historic Mount Goldsworthy iron ore mine. It's not ours, it's not on our ground. The geology is the same on our ground. The structures come into our ground. Whether the traps for the hematite are present on our ground, we have to find out. But the big thing about that mine, that ore body at Mount Goldsworthy, it's theirs, not ours. That built a mine, it built a town, it built a railway, it built a port, it built a beneficiation plant. And all it put out was 55 million tonnes in its entire production history. It just happened to be at 65% iron. And this is what we've got. That's that pit just there. Structures come on through, geologically speaking, cuts off there, so it's around. Okay, this is outcropping, this is undercover. And what we're looking for, big things, looking for hematite in this part of the world. There's definitely mines in this sort of rock. You've got Shea Gap out there, you've got Mulgarrie out there, Yarrie and Goldsworthy, all in this rock type. So we know the rock type is the right rock to look for iron ore. It's got magnetic signature, it's got gravity signature. Targeting hematite, if we've got a gravity high on a mag low, we might have something. There's been gravity work done on a 400 by 400 pattern. We have announced to the market and we've conducted gravity on a 100 by 100 spacing. It's currently with our geophysicist. We'll get that information in and that may just give us targets to go and drill somewhere in this area with a view to looking for hematite. This is the 400 by 400 magnetic gravity signature. Okay, where you see here the gravity highs, anywhere in that region where there's mag lows, we're onto it. The other parts of the tenement I haven't spoken about at all. It's been explored by others for gold and some base metals and a few other things. Our focus here is iron. We will start with that, we'll look at that first, and then if something else comes along the way, we'll look at that later. It's just not on our radar right now. But we are doing this. We are targeting the gravity highs on the mag lows. So what we'll do, we'll get the drilling approvals in place. We'll do the heritage surveys, and we want to drill holes in there this year. Okay, looking at our fourth project, this is more of a strategic project. And what happened with this project here is we purchased this one. And I'll just pause and talk about the others. I did mention the ballot of Yandicoogina. I didn't mention the ballot of Hancock Range that everybody wanted and we won. And I didn't mention the ballot of Mount Goldsworthy where we came second and the company that came first made a mistake, so we got the tenement. So there's a bit of luck has come with our diligence and our geological knowledge. This one we actually purchased, so it's quite tame by comparison. This one here is more of a strategic asset for us. What it is, it's 100 kilometres south of Port Hedland. It lies right next to Wodgina, which is a by-the-way event at the moment. But what it's got going for it, it's got some iron on the surface, which, not a lot probably, but something there. But it's got the Great Northern Highway, Bitumen Road, right through the middle of it. And you can be on the highway, it's like being on the freeways around here. You can't just leave your house and get onto the freeway, you've actually got to get access to the freeway. There's a truck turnout right there. So we've got access onto the highway as well as having the highway right there. So whether this becomes a staging post for our southern stuff, it's an hour's drive from Hedland, whether it becomes that or these mesas come in or we do other strategic things with it, this is a very exciting patch of ground for us. So the development milestones for Hemisphere. The heritage surveys we've conducted, we've done drilling in our years, we've done successful heritage surveys, we've got more happening, waiting for the results of that and waiting for the reports. We've got more to do from a production sense and further exploration. They're just ongoing part of the business, and I'm sure you all understand that. Okay, we have got further exploration drilling to continue, or to commence on Mount Goldsworthy and to continue on Yandicoogina South and Hancock Range and later on to Mount Tinstone. We have a mining lease application, it's running. It's been running since December last year. Sometime in the fullness of time that'll get granted. And we're currently underway in feasibility study, discussions with offtake partners. We've got, well, I've mentioned the feasibility there. Just briefly, where we're at with that, we've got pit designs being done, we've got schedules done, we've got some costs getting put to it, and at the moment we're waiting for other costs to come in to see how it all stacks up, and we've initiated environmental approvals as well. So that's ticking along. The formal feasibility study we're targeting at the moment by the 2/12 have it finished. Finalising offtake, I've mentioned that we do have offtake discussions that we've initiated, be it the guys that walk into our office and we needed interpreters, or even local ones around the corner, or in the around the corner up north, up in the Pilbara. Also, we are looking at a production profile, and we will, all going well, be in the production front a year from now, or more than that, a year and a half from now. So for yourselves, looking at the market, why is Hemisphere in this market is the test. We've got this company, we're listed, we've got we're funded, we're exploring, actively exploring, we've got skill base across many commodities. Why iron ore? There are those that say the iron price is coming back. Well, just a very few days ago, there was a conference in Perth where a man spoke and suggested that the shortfall in supply has not gone away, and even with RGP6 of BHP and RIO's expansion, that is not sufficient to meet the increase in demand that's out there. So it's real, according to all the people that are out there. So whether you're talking RIO or BHP or some of the financial markets, they're out there saying that the iron prices will be long and strong and the demand is plentiful. And we tend to agree with them, so we're still actively out there. Why invest in Hemisphere? For you guys. We've got the properties, we've got the people, we've got the commodity. We're not here to raise capital today, we are funded. We're definitely a value proposition. And if you've got any further questions you want to ask of me, I'll be sitting over at the table, and come and have a chat. Thank you.